Hey guys, this is the Rivalboss, and today I'm bringing you a video on something that is kind of dear to my heart. The PlayStation Classic has come out today, and it's kind of trash. So, the games aren't very good on it. There's only a few really great games, and some of the like Rainbow Six and stuff are kind of questionable. It uses an open source emulator, which you really thought it was going to be an in-house emulator from Sony, because they've done it before on the PSP and the PS3. And also they use lots of European ROMs running at 60 hertz, which causes lots of screen tearing and stuff. Well, you can do your own reviews, but I pre-ordered it. I canceled mine. But what I did do is I found an image for you guys that basically is way better than the PlayStation Classic. So this is the first time I've downloaded the image. I'll put a link in the description. I unzipped it, and then I used my etcher to burn it onto this SD card. It was a 32 gig image, and I'll put a link in the description. This is the first time booting this up, so we're going to do a live setting up for you. And then also I'm going to show you how you can also connect this to your normal television, just without a Raspberry, without an arcade 1-up, and play it wirelessly with a PS3 controller. Okay, so here we go. We're going to boot it up for the first time. So as you can see, it's got a really cool intro screen, and we are on this for our first time. I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, so here we go. We've zoomed in, and we are now going to set up our gamepad. We're going to push. This is on your USB encoders. This is after an install. I'll put a link into ETA Prime's install if you don't know what I'm doing here, but this is a Raspberry Pi with USB encoders. So what we're going to do is push and hold a button to bring up the control. Then we're going to do what it says on the screen. Up, down, left, right, start, select being the coin button, A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, right shoulder. Okay, and then for the rest of these, we're going to bypass it by pressing and holding down that A button again. And we're going to do that for all of these. Try to do it quickly here. Okay, and then the enable hotkey button, let me clear this again, will be that same select button or the button that you inserted coins. Okay. So as you can see here, it's really cool. It's got kind of the PlayStation Classic look to it already. On your main menu, you've got a PlayStation, the PlayStation games, and your Raspberry config, which is really nice. So, as you can see in the games here, so to turn down the volume, you're going to hit that start button, go down to sound settings, turn down that volume a little bit right off the get-go. We'll run it right at 72, just so you guys can hear me. Try it again. There we go, much better. Okay, so we're going to launch up one of these games. Now, I already know, because I've looked at this image, this is going to have the overlays and the sides. It's going to be basically for if you have a little widescreen TV, modern day, these are going to basically fill in the sides so the image can still have a 4:3 image. Right now though, on the arcade 1-up, we want to get rid of those. We're going to show you how to do that. But if you're going to play this wirelessly strapped to the back of a television, you don't want to get rid of those, so skip this step. So we're going to get rid of those though for the arcade 1-up. How we're going to do that is we're going to press start and select, go back. We're going to go back one menu. We're going to go down to this RetroPie config. Then we're going to go down to RetroPie setup. After the RetroPie setup comes up, you're going to go down to configuration tools. Then on here, you're going to look for number 805, config edit. After getting into config edit, you're going to go to configure basic Libro emulator options, number 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to need to turn 2 things on just to make sure that these overlays are turned off. So first we're going to go to, and remember, you want to skip this step if you're going to plug this to the back of a TV. So first we're going to go to the configure default options for all the emulators. Then we're going to go down here and you'll see this thing that says video overlay enabled, true. We're going to change that to false. And we're going to hit back or cancel after we've done that. And you can see that it stays when you do the cancel, by the way. And then we're going to go down, because this is a PlayStation game, a bunch of PlayStation games, this could be using the PSX emulator. So just to be on the safe side, we're going to go down to number 24, configure additional options for PSX. When you get into the PSX settings, you're going to go down to that overlay enabled, and as you can see right now, it says it's unset. But we're just going to make sure for sure it's unset. So we're going to go down to false. Then go cancel, 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 and one more back. And you'll finally get to the exit. Go to exit. Now what that should have done, I'm going to clear the bag. What that should have done is gotten rid of those overlays. Let's see. Let's boot ourselves up a game here. By the way, this image has so many awesome games. One of my all-time favorite games in Handler, or in Idler. So we're going to boot it up. And if you ever, let's see, boot it up and we're going to see if this works. And as you can see, there are no more overlays on the sides of the screen. So again, you don't want to do this if you're using a widescreen TV, like on your normal television, but for the arcade 1-up, you don't want those things. I'm sorry, this screen's a little blurry. I don't know why the camera is not picking it up as well as it normally does. Perfect. So this image has a ton of good games. I'm not sure exactly how many there are total, but, and as you can see, really cool. Runs really nice, runs really good. There is a little bit of delay on my screen, but I think it's because I'm trying to capture it at a high resolution. So anyway, we're going to go back out of the game. And now, if you want to, basically, that's the end of the tutorial here. I mean, you got Final Fantasy, you got Metal Gear, you got Metal Gear Solid, you got Metal Slug. I mean, there's a ton of good games in this image. This is way better than what you would get on that PSN Classic, the PlayStation Mini. So now I'm going to show you one more thing. So this is if you want to play it, basically connected your Raspberry Pi directly to your TV, being USB, or I mean HDMI. So you're going to want to get yourself a PlayStation 3 controller. I'm going to clear all the artifacting here. You're going to want to get yourself a PS3 controller, just like this, with the USB, I think it's a mini. It's not the micro, it's the mini, with a USB on one side. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go using a keyboard. Let's say you've booted this image up for the first time. You're going to use a keyboard to navigate the menu for the first time. So on the very bottom here, you're going to see Wi-Fi. You're going to want to go to Wi-Fi. With your keyboard connected, you're going to connect to a Wi-Fi network. Okay guys, so now we've connected to our Wi-Fi. Now we can go back up to Raspberry Pi setup. Then we're going to go down to that Manage Packages again. We're going to go to the Manage Driver Packages. And we're going to select that PS3 controller one that we almost selected before. That is number 822. We're going to install from source and hit OK. It's going to install, now that we're connected to the Wi-Fi, online. So after about 2 minutes of time for it downloading and installing, you're going to get to this screen. Now you're going to go down to Configure Options. It's going to tell you basically that you can only have one Bluetooth device attached at a time. So that's what it's telling us. And basically that's all. Okay, so you're going to hit OK. Now you're going to see the Pair PS3 controller, the official. You can also do unofficials here too, but I would recommend, they're cheap, 15 bucks or so, you get yourself a PS3 controller. So now you're going to connect this via the USB before you hit the button. So I'm going to go back here and plug it in. Okay guys, so now that I've plugged in the buttons, or plugged in the controller, you can see it's flashing. We're going to now hit enter on the keyboard or the USB and go pair with PS3 controller. Hit that button. This is when you would plug it in right now, if you hadn't already done it. And you hit OK. Now it's paired, so I can hit that little start button in the middle, and as you can see, it's taken player 2 because player 1 was plugged in the USB control stick. So we're going to hit OK. Actually, we're going to go back to cancel now after we've paired it. So if you only have a keyboard installed and you're not doing it on your Arcade 1-Up USB encoders, you don't have to do this next step. You just want to back out to the back of the main menu. Get out of here. Okay? Now at this point, I'm going to basically disconnect the USB encoder. You wouldn't have to do this, but I'm going to. Give me 1 second. Okay, so real quick, we have to configure this PS3 controller now. So we're going to go press start, and we're going to bring up the main menu. Then we're going to go to configure input. It's going to say, you see 2 gamepads. Yes, because now I have the USB encoder and this PS3. So I'm going to hit the X button on the PS3 to bring up the configuration. Then I'm going to follow the prompt. Up, down, left, right, start, select. I pick X for A, B, X, Y, left shoulder, left trigger, right trigger, left thumb, right thumb. That's talking about the pushing down. Left analog up, down, left, right analog up, down, left, right. Hotkey is that PlayStation button. Let me clear the artifacting again. I don't know why it's doing so much today. That PlayStation button. Okay, and then we're going to hit OK. Now we can control it with the PlayStation controller. Yay! And also, after I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to reboot it here. So I'm going to be player 1 because right now I'm player 2 because I got that USB encoder. I'm going to reboot the system. First off, I'm going to show you. You can now disconnect it and it will eventually be player 2, which is pretty cool. So now I'm going to restart the system and I'm going to unplug the keyboard and the USB encoder so I'm player 1, and then I'm going to be able to play the game, you know, with it. So right now we're going to reboot it. So I'm going to hit the start button, or maybe it's the, let's see, right now this encoder is doing all of it. So we're going to quit right here, okay, and I'm going to restart the system. I'm going to restart the system. I'm going to unplug the USB encoder right after I do this. So here we go. So now it says no gamepads detected. That's because I needed to bring this up. So it's searching. It found me as player 1. Okay? So I'm going to push and hold the button. It found it. I'm going to reset it up real quick. Up, down, left, right. You will not have to keep doing it after set it up for the first time here. And my hotkey. And now, guys, as you can see, once we get to it started here, I am now controlling it completely with the PlayStation button, or the PlayStation 3 controller. And I can go into my games, and I can bring myself up. Let's see, let's do something that has analog. So we're going to do Gran Turismo 2. Hit that. And now, what I recommend personally is that you use this on a big screen TV. You'll get way more benefit out of it. So we're gonna press start on now that we're player 1, as you can see, player 1. We're gonna go down to let's go to start game. We're just gonna do a quick arcade here. So we're just gonna go race. I didn't realize it was simulation mode. I should have read. We'll just go here. Oh, I hit replay. But anyway, I was just going to show you the analog sticks work and everything. Everything works, which is pretty cool. Let's exit here. But yeah, and this looks much better than the PlayStation Classic on your big screen. It's going to look great. Let's see. I gotta get in the car. I picked the worst game, but anyway, this all works with your wireless controller. And if you ever need to make it back out, just like on the arcade 1-up, you're going to hit the PlayStation button and the start button. That will bring you back to the main screen, and where you can pick another game here. So, yeah. So anyway, if you liked this video, please like and subscribe. It's really helping me out. You guys have helped a ton. I've grown a lot of subscribers lately. I'm very grateful. And thanks for watching, you guys. And if you guys have any other videos or questions, I will make some videos on that. I do have some more videos that I need to make pretty soon, kind of just catching up on questions people have asked. I just thought I should get this out now because, you know, PlayStation Classic came out today. And don't waste your money. Get one of these. Get a Raspberry Pi and a 32 gig card. This is a much better purchase, and you'll enjoy it much better. So thanks for watching, and until next time, this is the Rivalboss.